Yeah, I guess this is what happens when you tell everybody that the comic books suck.
You just break the internet.
We lost the stream. I don't know what happened. I have no idea. Outside of apparently me being incendiary for the first time in history, being an incendiary troll.
Literally broke the internet.
Broke the internet, which has never happened before. Anyway.
Troy's sitting here all the other comics suck, and God was like, I'll show you what.
I'll show you what. Right. Anyway, to prove that not all the other comics suck, Ashton, what is your pick this week?
All right. My pick this week is Bylines in Blood from Aftershock Comics. This is a trade I want to point out. It's going to collect issues 1 through 4. This was a miniseries, so it's the whole series all together in one go so that you can binge it, which I will be doing. This comic book is my literal nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
The entire concept here is scary, terrifying. I don't even know if there's a word for it that really captures how unsettling it is. So it's set in a near future where politicians invent their own facts as they see fit and as serves them. Independent newspapers don't exist. News stations don't exist. The concept of journalism is dead. Truth is dead. That's gone.
A little prescient.
It's not great. And so it centers on... Okay, sorry, let me back up. So because there are no journalists, instead we now have these things called... They're private detectives, basically, and their job is to search out whatever is left of objective truth as people are trying to bury that. And so this focuses on a private detective that used to be a journalist. And I think that's a fascinating approach because it shows kind of how quickly that extinction took place, that someone that was a journalist is still alive and that profession no longer exists.
Right, it's just a rapid decline.
Yeah.
Right, interesting.
So that's terrifying. I like this because it's in the same line as Fahrenheit 451, which is one of my favorite books. I love a cautionary tale. And I think this cautionary tale is especially alarming, I'll say, because a lot of the things are kind of... We're headed in that direction as it is.
Yeah,
Fake news and alternative facts and what have you.
I like it. I like how she's a human PolitiFact.
Right. My God.
Or a human Snopes.
Right.
Which is, actually, it's actually interesting. They're getting called out too. So I mean, it's an interesting time, and this story is definitely well timed. I'm sorry. Was there anything else you want to say about Bylines in Blood, or?
Nope.
No. I mean, no. It's a cool book. I got the first issue. Had not read it. But I picked it up based entirely on the premise, because it is really fascinating. And I also have to point out that artwork, the cover for issue number 1, which is also the cover for the trade, actually is really nice, very symbolic, I think, which is actually also pretty cool. So yeah, both of those are available at your local comic shop this week, Deadly Class and Bylines in Blood. And now we're going to show you some of the premiere titles available at your local comic shop. Anna Mee is here with what's at comic shops for today.
Let's hope it works.
Maybe Anna Mee broke the internet.
Do you know what new comics are coming out this week? No? Well, let's take a look. Here's what's at comic shops for the week of August 24th, 2022. For more info on these titles and others, head on over to previewsworld.com/new releases.
And as Anna Mee pointed out, you can go to previewsworld.com/new releases to get the full list. And not just comics, of course. We got toys, we got magazines, we've got novels, we've got collectibles. It's all there, all available. And also a shout out to previewsworld.com/catalog, where you can find out how to pre-order those items ahead of when they come into shops, right? Because that's also really important. All right, I think it's time for some news, right?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. It's news time.
internet doesn't go down, then we're going to do some news.
Ooh, nervous, dysfunctional news
Probably,
hour.
I was like, shouldn't have said that, Johnny. Now the internet likes a challenge.
Way to curse us. I appreciate your jinx. Okay. Okay, so our first bit of news here is that Diamond, our mothership, as we've pointed out before, announced yesterday their new deluxe tier publishers. So the new deluxe tier will feature, I should say, Aftershock Comics, Titan Comics, Ablaze Publishing, and Frank Miller Presents. This new tier features preferred coverage in the Previews catalog and also expanded support on the Previews World website. So that's all of Troy's good stuff, interviews, Get Graphics, all of that. So they'll get some little extra love there. And it also, it features new exclusive distribution agreements with each of these publishers. And so the goal of the deluxe tier, as it were, is to kind of spotlight all of these things that the vendors are doing, give them robust support in recognition of their success and also projected success.
Yeah.
So in September, the September Previews catalog, which Troy has with us, that's when you'll see these publishers move to the new deluxe section, and it'll appear in the front of the catalog after the premier publishers. And there will also be a new deluxe section on the Previews World website if you want to go check out all of their fun things. And then also an interesting retailer angle here that I want to make sure I point out. Diamond will be expanding their waiver of reorder fees for all of the premier publishers. So Image, Dark Horse, Boom, and Dynamite. And then that'll also include these new deluxe publishers.
Okay, that's good for retailers then.
Right?
I'm going to put this out here right now. You mentioned Troy will have interviews with people. I want to do a Frank Miller interview. I'm
Going on the record.
I want a Frank Miller interview, and we're going back to conventions, right?
Yeah.
We're doing that again. It's been about 2 solid years of us not doing cons. So I'm like, yeah, I want that Frank Miller interview. I want it. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I want that Frank Miller interview.
Whoever broke the internet, bring us
Right.
Frank Miller.
Just give us some good luck this time. Give us some Frank Miller. What else is going on in the news, Ashton?
As we talked about this earlier, but Scotty Young's returning to Fairyland.
It sounded like you've been wounded. Are you okay, Johnny?
I've been wounded by the internet, but this is revitalizing me.
All
Okay,
right.
there you go.
Being
Johnny's back.
resuscitated. So this November, Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland will be back after a 4-year hiatus. And in an exclusive interview with IO9, Scotty Young said, if you liked the first 20 issues of I Hate Fairyland, then you're going to love the new ongoing. I've had a few years to build up some brand new things for Gert to hate. This time around, she's all grown up and as brutal and funny as ever. So it does kind of jump forward in time, and she'll be a teenager or a young adult. So Scotty Young will be handling the writing here, but he's passing art off to Brett Bean. But, I mean, if you scroll down in this, Johnny, there's kind of some preview pages. Okay. There's kind of some
Johnny
preview
said no.
pages to look through, and Brett Bean does a really good job of capturing the same kind of style of art that Scotty Young is known
There's the
for. So
mandatory Peach Momoko cover.
there's mandatory, yes. And that'll be in comic
yeah.
shops November 16th.
Oh, yeah, that's almost a 1-to-1 there.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
Good consistency.
Yeah.
It's a family book.
Right?
Yeah, something like that.
No, we can see why Johnny likes it.
Right. Man,
No,
John.
I Hate Fairyland. Shout out to them. I didn't realize it'd been. I didn't realize it'd been 20 issues, and I didn't realize it was 4 years ago. But I guess that makes sense now I think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm missing a gigantic chunk of time thanks to COVID, so 4 years seems
I mean, literally 2 years just vanished.
Right.
Right. So I totally understand. We could have had our own weird Thanos snap situation, didn't we?
Yes.
It's kind of interesting. Also in the news, I want
Real
to
quick, we have some comments.
Oh yeah, let's go to comments
Right.
real quick. Let's say
Our
hi to
good
the
friend
people who like
Annie
us.
Fox is back. She says she lost us guys for a bit,
Yep.
Okay.
Got
We
lost
lost
in the
you.
sauce.
Yeah.
but she thought it was her. So, no,
Nope.
Annie, it was not you. It was
It was us.
it was John Q Internet.
Yes, it was exactly.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Sad news, right? Marvel inker Tom Palmer has passed away. He's one of those names that you've seen in a lot of titles, and quietly he's been one of those. You know, the inker's job is kind of inking has been considered invisible art,
Right.
and so quietly he's made a lot of your favorite artists better. Like, you know, God honest truth. He worked with Sal Buscema, Neil Adams, John Byrne, some heavy hitters. Most notably, he had worked with Gene Colan. And yeah, just wanted to recognize his passing. He passed away at 80 this past week. and clearly a staple at Marvel Comics. Like he is
Absolutely.
known for his Marvel work. Also, did not know this. I don't. You might not have a reference for this, but I think Johnny might have a reference to this. Tom Palmer Jr. is his son who did Palmer's Picks in Wizard, Johnny.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so just a fun little fact there. But again, wanted to shout out Tom Palmer. We always want to recognize the creators of this industry and the people that have just brought entertainment to us in general. So. Also, more bad news. This is more of a personal note for me. I think this is more. It's not as bad as the Tom.
I'm glad
Palmer
you're
thing.
the bad news.
I know.
News
Typically,
bears
it's
this
you,
week.
right?
Yeah.
So look, I have no love for JJ. I'm talking about the JJ Abrams, of course.
Yeah.
But he was attached to the Cape Crusader series on HBO Max.
Yes.
And that was a spinoff of the Batman, which I've said plenty of times. I loved the Batman.
It was very good.
It was very well
impressive.
done. And so I was kind of interested in it specifically because director Matt Reeves and
Right.
Batman the Animated Series co-creator Bruce Timm were involved.
Right.
So less the J.J. Abrams part, but the other two.
Okay. I get it. I understand.
And, it was just one of those things like, J.J. can't make this suck, can he? I don't think so. Like, let's just go with it.
I mean, you really didn't like Lost?
No.
All right.
Well, that's a whole conversation. I want 6 years of my life back from
Oh,
Lost.
damn. Okay.
That was 6 seasons of just nonsense.
No,
Anyway.
it was good until the last season, and then it went left in a really bad way.
But see, but here's my whole thing, right? I actually just talked about Jordan Peele in this too. J.J. Abrams, right? Well, okay. First of all, J.J. Abrams was not completely responsible for Lost. I have to point that out, right?
Okay, that's fair.
But when your entire concept hinges on what the big twist is,
And there's no twist.
and then the twist is garbage,
Right.
or there is no twist. And I saw Nope this past week.
Yeah.
Right. And Jordan Peele has managed to sidestep this every single time. But we talk about M. Night.
Shamalama ding
Yeah,
dong.
he falls into that category of twists that kind of are like, okay. Christopher Nolan's also guilty of this.
Sometimes his are good, I have to say.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
sometimes
I'm
are
like,
good, right? Yeah, sometimes are good. There was some nice twists in Batman Begins and The Prestige. I actually think is like his best movie, but it kind of lays out everything you need to know about Christopher Nolan movies.
okay.
And like once you see The Prestige, you can't watch Christopher Nolan movies again.
Damn.
That's
Alright.
just how I feel
That's
about
fair.
it. Anyway, back
Yeah,
to
so
Batman.
Warner Brothers.
So Warner Brothers. Look, we do tangents on the show. It's okay. But now, like many other things, because of the Discovery merger, it got the axe, the Cape Crusader TV show.
Yeah.
It's
It's going to be shopped around. Do I read that correctly?
I mean, possibly. I mean, I just kind of find it odd that HBO Max is not the home that it's going to be on.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Whatever. So, okay, actually, this brings me to my other thing. So here's my thing. It sounds like they're going to mothball HBO Max and rebrand it and call it something else, right? And it sounds like they're going to join whatever Discovery programming is with the HBO programming and create one big app, right? So, I don't watch a lot of television, but I'm familiar with Discovery. Like, I grew up in Silver Spring. I didn't grow up in Silver Spring. I came up in Silver Spring. The big Discovery building was a big deal when it came up in there. Discovery is basically a bunch of reality shows.
Shark Week.
I mean, it's Shark Week, yes. It is Shark Week. I'll
Don't
give
get
you
me.
that.
I love Shark
And I can't
Week.
hate on Shark. I'm not going to hate on Shark Week. I can't, their programming is their programming, right? But it just kind of boggles my mind that Discovery is a ton of reality shows, right?
Right, basically.
And I'm like, what am I missing? Like, why do they think HBO is the lesser brand? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that too. Also, I don't think there's as much crossover as maybe they're
No.
anticipating.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
The people that are watching HBO Max stuff aren't the same people that are watching like Food Network and TLC,
Right.
and like it's just not the same audience.
Right.
And also, I personally think you stand to lose some of your audience because Discovery, whatever Discovery streaming is called, Discovery Plus maybe,
Yeah, right.
is like $4, maybe $5. It might even be less than that monthly.
Yeah.
So you're gonna package all of that together. You're gonna hike the price.
Of course.
And then what happens? Like,
Right. And every time these streaming services hike the price up, people start losing their mind anyway. Like
Yeah.
we just saw, actually, Disney Plus Bob Chapek just said he was going to make Disney Plus a little bit more expensive. So, yeah, I just never understood that. Also, I got to point out, look, okay, When they came for Batgirl, I said nothing. Right?
Okay.
But that's probably a very inappropriate joke. But anyway, but seriously though, Ezra Miller still has a job.
Yo, can we talk about that?
Right.
Can we talk about this man's been arrested like 4 times in the past year, and they haven't canceled the Flash.
No.
They haven't recast it.
No.
He hasn't really gone to jail.
No.
Like what is happening?
What is happening? But you're gonna axe this show, and I'm just like, all right, I guess.
Why is the Flash still a thing?
Why is the Flash still a thing? I'm just saying. I don't know. Anyway, that was definitely something that had been going on in the news, and I say news. It really was just the internet was just in an uproar about it. I wanted to acknowledge it because it's been a steady stream of, just axings from the HBO Max lineup of potential
Yes.
things, especially DC stuff. But also there's been some other stuff, though, I saw that was, of course, non-DC related, but I don't care about that stuff. So
Also, the CEO said they want to basically reset their approach to DC and
Right,
have a new 10-year plan and do an entirely new slew of films, which is fine in theory, right?
Right, yeah.
Fine in theory. And if the CEO is a Discovery guy, which I think he is,
Right.
I don't want to be that person. I don't. But
say it, yeah.
what do you know about DC?
Right, yeah, right. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence. I'll put it like
Right.
that. So we'll see. I also don't want to be that person, right?
Where we sit here and we're like, gatekeeping's bad, and so I
Right.
don't want to be the person that's like, if you're not overtly a nerd, you can't handle nerd properties, because
Right,
that's
yeah.
completely the antithesis of my argument. But it's not encouraging.
It's not encouraging. That's all I'm saying. I'll go on the record. I think some gatekeeping's okay. I'm just gonna say it. That's just me. All right.
We got a couple more comments.
We're gonna have
More
to come
comments.
back to that. That might be our social swamp.
That,
later in life.
actually, that might have to be. That's a very good point. Remind me of that next week when we talk about social.
And he's asking if we have any thoughts on the House of Dragons.
I have not watched it. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it either. I wonder if it would make sense for me to watch it, considering I saw grand total of 4 episodes of Game of Thrones, and that was the Red Wedding and
Same
the
thing.
big the heavy hitters.
Right.
I heard it's great. My brother watches it. I have friends that watch it. Apparently, it's fantastic.
Okay.
So
All right. No, I watched over the shoulder. I watched it
Yeah.
over the shoulder, right? So I really don't have a hot take on it or anything like that. But I know people are excited about it, which is
Yeah.
it's a little surprising because people were very upset with the end of Game of Thrones. So
they need a redemption.
They need a redemption, I guess. So hopefully they do right by them.
We also have one more.
Yeah. What else we got?
Anton's saying Batman cartoon look cool, whatever they're going to do. So I guess
Yeah.
we don't know. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of what the big question in the air is. I mean,
Yeah.
the article from Variety that we just showed on the screen says it's going to be shopped elsewhere, but
Yeah,
until
we'll
we
see,
get an
right?
official word, we really don't know.
Yeah, and also because it's the Batman spinoff, I'm like it should be,
With Warner.
With Warner,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just very strange.
Also, they did the whole first look thing with Matt Reeves, and then they're like, "Oh, we don't want your Batman show."
Right,
This just
right.
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not. No, I'm actually great. Thanks for pointing that out because that was the other part of this too. It was like, yeah, they just gave Matt Reeves this massive deal, and I'm like, cool. I loved Planet of the Apes. I loved the Batman. I'm with it, but what's going on here? All right, official epic trailer. Let's check out Nomad from Battle Quest Comics, and we come back to tell you a little bit more about it. Check it out. All right, and that was Nomad the Unconquerable from Battle Quest Comics. The first 2 issues have already hit comic shops. So this is actually for issue number 3, which is coming to comic shops very soon. If you want to check out some preview images, go to preesworld.com and just type in Nomad, 2 Ds, right? And take a look inside, because it's a really interesting epic fantasy adventure, perfect for fans of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, et cetera, et cetera. So take a look. All right, you know what, actually... Johnny, we got time to talk about She-Hulk, right?
Always.
All right.
Oh, boy.
So, actually, I want to try something here, because I know Ashton's kind of not, this is not your lane, right?
Yeah.
This is not your thing, right? I'm curious, first thing that comes to mind,
Okay.
what do you think the origin of She-Hulk is?
Like, how do I think she got her Hulk powers?
Yeah.
I mean, immediately my brain wants to say it's some sort of, like, chemical accident because
Well,
I
yeah.
associate that with all superheroes.
Chemical accidents are very common. This is very
It's not a chemical accident.
I mean, it's not a chemical accident. I will say that much.
Okay. Am I going to
So-
just keep guessing until I get
I
it right?
mean, you know, keep throwing them out there. We'll see
Be
what
here
happens.
all day.
I mean, I'll pitch
She
it
gets
over to
bit
John.
by Bruce Banner.
That would be hilarious. That would be absolutely hilarious. Okay. In the comics, specifically, okay, we talked about She-Hulk is a lawyer. Her identity, her actual identity, Jennifer Walters, is a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
She represents someone, I forget who it is, but she represents someone who ultimately, she's defending this person, and the plaintiff is connected to the mob.
Okay.
And that person shoots Jennifer Walters, I think before their court date. I might be some of the details like mixed up. Her cousin Bruce Banner happens to be there when that happens and gives her a blood transfusion.
Oh, I was kind of close with both of my
A
guesses.
little bit. And so the show doesn't quite do that, which is
Okay.
one of my gripes with it. But at the same time, I understand why that's maybe way too elaborate.
Right. I'm going for the lowest common denominator here. You got to make it simple.
Yeah, it might be a little too elaborate. I understand that, but I'm curious, Johnny, what did you think of She-Hulk?
I'm really liking it. So I'm really digging it. We said like last week, I think it was. I was hoping that they were going to kind of go an Ally McBeal route, and it looks like they are.
They totally are, yeah.
Yeah, they're going like a more lighthearted take on it. Obviously, I don't mind like the little changes in terms of like the origin story, and because some things that work in comics aren't going to necessarily work in one medium, and like if that's movies, Disney Plus series, whatever. So. And there's already been a little bit of fourth wall breaking, so in that element it's kind of staying true to the comics. So the difference in the origin story doesn't bother me, but what is getting on my nerves, and I'm maybe just reading too much into this, is I was hearing talk about how a lot of people were kind of dissing it or like giving it bad reviews before they'd seen like one episode.
Yeah, well, that's the new thing to do, right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's
that's been the
just,
case for a
it
while.
aggravates me. It's like, just why are you like, is it just because it's like there's feminist undertones or whatever that, or it's like male bashing? It's just like, just shut up and watch the show.
You're right, yeah,
Get off your high horse.
Right.
Stop being so self-important and just be entertained for entertainment's sake.
Well, no, the preemptive, I was going to say a bad word, but the preemptive complaining
Yeah. Nice save.
is so played out. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not interested. I had a friend call me yesterday and was just preemptively complaining about all sorts of stuff that was about to come down. And I was just
gosh.
I was like, look, if it sucks, it sucks.
Deal with it then.
But at the same time, like, look, if it sucks, someone else will do another version of it down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the reality of being a comic book fan. That's something that I kind of truthfully got used to in the 90s when I was reading comic books.
Okay.
Is that, okay, this run was awful, but someone else is going to come around and do something cool. Not even fix it, just do something cool with it later down the line,
Yeah.
And so I that's kind of the reason I don't follow characters, I follow writers, because
Right.
you can have 25 issues of like awful Batman, awful Hulk stories, but then Donny Cates will show up or something like that, or Al Ewing will show up, or
Right.
actually Hulk's having a really good moment in comics right now, or Peter David will show up and they'll do something really cool with it again. So it's one of those things. But one of the things that I'm glad you mentioned, Johnny, was the fourth wall breaking, right? I liked how they introduced that concept. And it's I don't know, it's a very subtle thing that they did. Like, instead of having her, monologue through the entire episode, she kind of just introduces herself early on. by being by going through her defense for a person that she's going to be defending in court, and you're not getting a lot of it, but I kind of feel like they're building to the point that where it'll become a very common thing. Because, Deadpool out the gate is like,
Right.
we're
in
breaking
your
the fourth
face.
wall. It's just like,
Yeah.
we're going to start this way. But they're kind of slowly introducing this concept of her talking to you, the viewer,
Right.
which I think is really cool. The other thing that I thought was actually really amusing, there's a whole conversation, actually, it's like, it has 3 parts, I think, in the show, about Captain America's virginity.
Oh my God, amazing.
And it's a great bit because I know that it's pulled directly from the internet. There are these fan theories that Captain America got frozen in ice before.
That's possible.
Right.
He might have been young at war. It was World War II. A lot of kids were young at war.
Right, before anything happened, right?
Darn.
Right.
Tough break for him.
Which makes it even more tragic. Which is what the people on the internet have been saying, right? He was like, you love this girl, and then, But I love the fact that now people in the show, and I'm going to spoil this. This is the one thing I'm going to spoil. Bruce Banner breaks bro code. Somebody else pointed this out to me.
No.
Breaks bro code.
Bruce.
And tells Jennifer that he lost his V card during his USO tour. So because Jen has insisted that he is one, right?
Right.
And so the internet, of course, being the internet, immediately was like, who was it? But they plucked out this frame from Captain America: The First Avenger, and the minute I saw this, I was like, oh my God, the internet might be right.
No.
There's a whole segment in Captain America: The First Avenger where he's on the USO tour before he goes actually into battles. Captain America's using him as a what do you call it? Propaganda, poster child or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this one chick who just rolls up on him, and he's like, huh? And then they cut away.
Shoot your shot,
And I was like, the internet might be onto something with this one. I'm accepting. That's the fan theory I'm accepting.
They were quick with that.
They were
too.
real quick with that, right? I was like, the show dropped Friday, and I think I saw this on at the latest Sunday morning.
Damn.
And I
You
love
almost
it.
spent your weekend figuring out who Captain America lost his V card to.
I love it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So shout out to the internet. Shout out to I forgot, it was Devin who was in Cartoonist Kayfabe who posted that. Yeah, shout out to him for that because that was hilarious.
Troy, we got to discuss something here, though. Let's do the butterfly effect mentality on this.
Oh, no.
If Steve Rogers hadn't met whoever this young lady was, he might have not have established a base of confidence, which might not have grown into him actually becoming the hero of being Captain America. So, she is the true hero
She's
of
the
the
true-
MCU.
I think Ashton's upset. I'm not sure what this face is.
Yeah, I can't decide how I want to react to that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was empowering to women or not empowering to women, so I'm not sure how to react.
Johnny, I got your back on this. I'm going to say yes.
I like to think it's empowering to women because women rule the world.
I will
There you
think that
go.
one over, and I will let you know.
Okay, we'll get back to it. We'll ask you again next week what your thoughts are on this one. We expect you to have a Tumblr think piece about this one,
All right.
Ashton. Thank you.
Please
got
do
it.
not send hate mail to...
Johnny, I have your email. I'm going to send you hate
He's
mail.
going to send it directly to Johnny.
I'm gonna be good at
Dear
your
Johnny,
call,
you
please,
suck.
Troy.
Ashton Greenwood.
On an unrelated note, we have some comments.
Okay,
All right,
comment time.
sweet.
Please make this great.
Save us.
They're not gonna
we
save
haven't
us.
seen Anton in a while.
Oh,
He's saying the Abomination looks cool, at least in the trailers.
In
and
the trailers,
promo
yeah.
stuff.
That's actually also interesting to see that character come back.
Let's see how it's here. Annie Fox chiming in saying she liked it. She thought it was fun, and fun is good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to it, ain't it?
Facts.
Yep. And Anton's also saying Spider-Man is awesome right now.
Oh, is it?
I guess the comic?
Oh, the comic, yeah. Actually, you know what? Yes. The Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. actually is a really fun book. Yeah, that's the new series that's out right now. I haven't really read Spider-Man like that in a while, and the main book.
Yeah.
And I kind of picked this up on a whim, and yeah, it's actually really fun. It's a really fun story. So, yeah, and also look just different enough that it's that's pulling you in. All right, enough talk of V cards.
Yeah, that went on for so long.
That went on. I mean, I should have known. It's the three of us. I mean, what are you gonna do? Anyway, we're gonna do top 5, right?
I'm ready.
All right, let's dive into top 5 and get away from this subject.
Okay, we're bringing back a favorite. We asked you guys to tell us your top 5 favorite things in the nerd community. It doesn't need to be in a specific category. We like it if you tell us the category. Sometimes you don't, and we're left guessing, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. If you're watching right now and you want us to talk about your top 5, drop a comment. We'll get to it at the end. Tell us your top 5 favorite things in the nerd world. So let's jump into your comments, see what you guys had to say. A4 Amazing said Amazing Spider-Man, Avengers, Berserker, Thundercats, Spawn.
Just specifically her top 5 favorite things in the nerd world, right? So,
I would think so, or comic books maybe.
I love it. Awesome.
Mad Zapper says 1, The Simpsons, 2, Xena Warrior Princess, 3, The Legend of Korra, 4, She-Ra Princess of Power, 5, Winona Earp.
Okay. TV shows, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not. At first, I thought maybe it was like a heroines thing, but The Simpsons is not. It doesn't fit that.
Maybe Marge, or Lisa, I'm not sure.
Okay, Legend of Korra, hot take. All right, Dr. Plagueis says Dr. Doom, Donatello, Silver Surfer, Batman, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Can't talk.
I mean, outside of being geek adjacent, I guess favorite geek things. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, I would like to know what category these things are,
Right.
because I want to know what is the category that a Ninja Turtle and Grand Admiral Thrawn are in there together.
Even though like we said nerdy things, that there's no real cross pollination in this list at
We
all.
never specify that they have to put them in categories.
It's true.
That's true.
That's true.
I know.
That is our fault. Yeah.
I think it's funnier when we just get a random list of 5 things. The Reasonable Gentleman, which is a great handle, says Motu, Boba Fett, Scrooge McDuck, Doom, and Hulk.
Okay.
Again, why?
Why?
Why are Scrooge McDuck and Hulk?
Scrooge McDuck and Master of the Universe, actually. It's kind of hilarious. Oh,
All right.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
All right, he gave us a category. Great. Okay, Stan says top 5 lightsaber colors starting from the bottom. 5 green, 4 red, blue, purple, and black. So the dark saber.
The dark saber. All right.
Dark
cool.
saber is dope. I'm
It
not
is.
even mad about
It's
this.
cool. The dark saber
It's
is dope.
so cool.
And shout out to the purple lightsaber being number 2. I like that.
Facts. I will save my Samuel Jackson comments. Just about. Okay, here we go. Son of Krypton says Superman, Star Wars, Marvel of the MCU, Star Trek, and the rest of DC.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm imagining these are like fandoms or franchises.
Yeah.
All right. I like the rest of DC.
The rest of DC.
Somehow that feels like
It felt like a slight.
Yeah.
It kind of did. I gotta be honest.
bit of a snipe. American Buddha says Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Boom, Funky, maybe Funko.
Funko,
He might have gotten hit with
maybe Funko?
autocorrect.
Okay.
All right, and then Nintendo.
Okay. All right.
Funky.
Cool. Funky. Funky.
Yeah, funky.
Those funky pops. I like that.
I love a funky pop.
I love the funky pops. Oh God, I'm trying to think of like what that could possibly be, but it's okay. I don't need to even speculate. All right. So typically, last couple times we've done this, we didn't give our top 5s.
That's true.
So you want to give your top 5 and I'll give mine?
I do.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna need some help from the audience for the first one in this list or last one in this list. All right.
Okay.
So my top 5 here, I've given them a category, which is Jedi that are not the main characters in the Skywalker saga. So like secondary Jedi.
That's a good one. That's
characters.
a really good one. Yeah.
So the 5th one is the pointy head guy that's on the Jedi High Council. I started to Google his name and then ran out of time, so I need an assist from you guys. Someone tell me this man's name.
Now, are you talking about the one that looks like a cone head?
Yes.
Yes.
That's Kiadi Mundi.
Thank you.
Kiadi Mundi.
Yes. All right. 4 is Boris Offee. The girl that's got like the tattoos on her forehead and the cloak.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
3 is Kit Fisto.
All right.
Do love Kit.
All right.
2 is Shakti. I loved
okay.
Shakti before Ahsoka was even a thing. Before Ahsoka even existed, I thought Shakti was the coolest.
Okay. All right. I'll admit that. I like that.
And then number 1 is Plo Koon. I love
Yes.
Plo Koon. I want justice for Plo Koon's orange lightsaber that they gave him in the PlayStation 1 game and then ripped from his hands.
Which PlayStation 1 game was that?
Duh.
Was it Dark? It wasn't Dark Forces. Was
Yes,
it?
it was.
It was Dark Forces. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah. That's funny, actually. But okay, Jedi that are not the main character. I actually kind of dig that. That was actually really good. That's way more original than my list. So I was talking to somebody yesterday about like just anime to get into,
Okay.
and I realized that my list is probably extremely biased.
All right. That's fine.
But at the same time, it's my list, right?
Yeah.
So, and also, like you, I kind of waffled somewhere around the fifth one. But in no particular order, my favorite, Samurai Champloo,
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop,
Of course.
the underrated Project A-ko, which not a lot of people I've noticed know that one, but like it used to come on Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s a lot, and it is absolutely stupid, but also action-packed and a lot of fun to watch. So
All right.
Project A-ko. You know what? For number 4, I cheated. I'm gonna go. These are the two pretentious options, right?
Okay.
Akira and Ghost in the Shell.
Okay, yeah, I can see why you say those are pretentious.
Right.
Sure.
Also, the last one, I might get some pushback about this. I don't know. The Animatrix.
You've said before though that you really like the Animatrix.
I really like the Animatrix. I like, for someone who, saw the Matrix in the theater, like thought it was like really cool, a really cool concept, and was disappointed with the I'll say 2 and 3. I think 4 is okay. I think the 4th movie's okay. The Animatrix gave me the world that I was looking for.
Okay.
And the explanations that I was looking for. You know what I mean? Like in terms of how do we get here? What are the other human resistance ships doing? Like stuff like that. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, the Animatrix also on that list. There's other ones that are huge. I thought about Robot Carnival, but I haven't seen it in a long time. I almost put Cowboy Bebop the movie also on here, but I thought that would be a little redundant.
All of the
Cowboy Bebop all the time, except for that Netflix show. Except never that Netflix show. I get mad every time I see that Netflix show. I get so mad.
It is one of those things I don't understand, like what happens at Netflix that like why certain things land really well and other things don't. And I get part of that has to do with like the production company that's also like associated with it,
but you know what? I think this is my own assumption. This goes back to our fear of the robots, right? I think it's the algorithm. They are slaves to the algorithm.
Oh yeah.
And so they will try to pin in all these little things to make it work.
Yeah.
Even down to like truthfully the people that are producing and directing and starring and all this other stuff, and it just doesn't work.
No.
Sometimes it just doesn't work. And Cowboy Bebop is a great example. I'm more than certain that someone at Netflix was like, people are watching Cowboy Bebop like crazy on our streaming service. Let's make a live action version. And it's just like, no, it was fine as an animated thing. Like you're probably not going to get better than animated, to be honest.
Also, I'm kind of the mindset that it just I personally feel like it doesn't translate from animation to live action.
No,
like
almost
never.
Almost never. Like you can do anything in animation, and you were very much limited to what you can do in live action, even with computer generated effects. So, yeah, don't get me started because that Cowboy Bebop show hurt. I was like, you can't be this far off. I've been hurt a lot this week. I just
Taking
like
L's.
the Cape Crusader. I'm losing Deadly Class. Cowboy Bebop. Let's just do the poll.
All right. Guys, this week I was let loose to decide what the poll was going to be without any
we don't know
input
what this
from
is,
Tori and
yeah.
Johnny. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I asked you guys, I gave you a bunch of options, and I asked you guys which of these absolutely bonkers crossovers that I cooked up make the most sense.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a really good one.
Your choices are Hulk and Kool-Aid Man, the Predator and mermaids, or Transformers and zombies.
Now, wait. When you say mermaids, just like the Little Mermaid? Like, what? Is there a show mermaid? Like, what is?
No, just mermaids.
Oh, just mermaids. Okay.
Like, whatever your interpretation of mermaids is it like the sirens that lure sailors out to sea and kill them? Is it
Interesting.
like wholesome, like Little mermaids? Like, whatever you think of when you think of mermaids. Can they
Okay.
go on land? Like,
I don't think when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox that the Predator Little Mermaid crossover is what they had in mind.
Never say never.
But you could.
You could. I'm just saying. You know what? After Prey, I would totally go for a Predator versus Pirates. Like
that would
crossover
be
film,
cool.
and then unexpectedly they all have to fight mermaids.
Sirens, yes. Yes, I want that.
I want that. I
Whoever
actually do
we were
want that.
asking for Frank Miller earlier, we also want predators,
Right.
pirates, and mermaids.
And Pirates and Mermaids, exactly. And I'm sorry. And also the last one is just epic.
Right?
The last choice is that's just pure violence, is what that is. Transformers and zombies. Wow. I'm going to say Transformers and zombies off the break.
Okay.
Yeah. Johnny?
Well, here's the question. Like, where do you go with Transformers and zombies? Like, the zombies can't bite the Transformers.
But the Transformers still have to, like, defend themselves against the zombies.
Yeah,
but
what
there's
kind
a
of zombies is it? Is it fast zombies? Is it slow zombies?
There's a difference in like size ratio, first of all.
Yeah.
Also, the Transformers have like the weaponry and the technology that they can just blow them away, unless it's like something where it becomes like some kind of technological virus.
Oh, like the phalanx.
that
the
infects
Transformers are zombies.
and the Transformers, some of those become
Oh,
zombies.
like like the phalanx in like the X-Men. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. All right, I'm with this now. I'm on board. I like this.
That's
this
wild.
This is nuts. So, what are you pro Transformers and zombies?
I don't know, because like looking at this, I also like the idea of Hulk and the Kool-Aid Man.
I do love
teaming
that.
up together.
I do love that.
Busting into rooms. Oh yeah.
But they're running a scam. They're insurance adjusters, so they
Oh,
have to
that's
go around
good.
to people's
That's
houses
good.
and like inspect the damage that they've made.
That's good. That's actually really great. I would love that too, actually.
Oh,
And you know, like no Hulk smashing. Like the Hulk just shows up in glasses as an insurance adjuster.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, here, let me check this out real quick. Well, this is how much it's going to cost to repair this."
just for stupidity's sake, I'm going for Hulk and Kool-Aid Man. No,
That's brilliant.
Oh.
most people are saying that too. 52.9%.
Transformers and Zombies is not too far behind, but yeah, I'm with that. Predator Mermaids. I mean, we established that's actually pretty great content.
It is, it
I had to
works.
think about it for a second, but then once I thought about it, I was on board. So, you know, we should just let Ashton do the poll every week.
Yeah.
We were sitting there talking about, let's talk about the Cape Crusader and HBO Max. And Ash was like, or you can just let me do it. And it's like, I'll just make up something. And we were like, all right.
I mean, it worked.
And it's brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
It
Bravo.
worked perfectly.
Bravo, Ashton. Bravo.
Thank you.
What is the
We
comic
do have a
shop?
couple of comments here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get some comments.
Anton saying for his top 5, he was saying Doctor Who, Spider-Man, Batman, Ninja Turtles, and Darkwing Duck.
This is top 5.
Top
Okay.
5.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right.
Okay. Anytime I see the Ninja Turtles with some human person, I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah, you know, but it's a thing. It's definitely a thing.
Annie Fox was not necessarily doing a top 5, but she was just giving a shout out to Samurai Jack.
Shout out Samurai Jack.
So that might be in her top 5. Maybe it takes up all of her top 5.
Maybe
Her
just
entire top
Samurai
5.
Jack, Samurai Jack, Samurai Jack. Okay.
Annie's saying only if Kool-Aid Man is lime flavored.
Oh, interesting. Oh, because the Hulk is green.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Ooh.
That's good.
Thanks,
We
Annie.
really had our mind blown by this poll. I don't know if that's unfortunate or great.
I don't know either.
What is the comic shop shout out for this week?
All right, this week's comic shop. I got it. Okay. This week's comic shop shout out goes to Fantastico in Mexico City. It comes from El Gran Lobo Feroz. He says it is the place to find the best comics in Mexico City.
All right, cool.
I forgot how to read halfway through
It's okay.
doing that comic shop
We're
shout
still
out.
stuck on Transformers and Zombies.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
am. Predator and mermaids. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name. And use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your local comic book shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
Absolutely. Just your reminder to head on over to presroll.com and check out some of the articles we've thrown up this week. Johnny, I forgot what articles I did this week.
Nice. That's very on theme with this
It was very
episode.
on theme with this episode,
Oh,
absolutely.
real quick, I actually want to go back to the poll because there was someone who was actually talking about crossovers, and they suggested this from actually was an actual title from IDW.
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek Next Generation and Doctor Who Assimilation.
Yeah.
Was that recent? It's got Matt Smith.
There might have been a few.
I don't know exactly.
How
what
many
was
Doctor
released,
Who's has there been since Matt
But it
Smith?
makes perfect sense, like teaming up the Borg and the Cybermen. I'm like, oh my god, that's actually that's
That
brilliant.
works perfectly.
Oh, you know, it has to have been a while ago because Titan has Doctor Who now.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Okay,
Oh,
so
and
that
they've
was
had Doctor Who
that
for a
was
minute.
2012.
That was
Okay.
10 years
Okay.
ago, so that's 2012.
That
So
was 10 years ago. Jeez. Don't do that again, John. That was
Yeah,
awful.
don't do math.
Okay, here we go. So Lovecraft, Unknown Kadith. This, of course, is actually not a very well-known H.P. Lovecraft story that they are adapting over to Blaze. I did a cool interview with Guillermo Sana. He shows me his artistic process. This is part of a series of interviews I do called Get Graphic, where I talk to the artists, and they show me, how they build these characters, how they build their pages, how they art basically, right?
Which is super cool.
Which is super cool, and I love doing these because it's just a little mini education, and I get to do these at least almost weekly. So yeah, definitely check that out. That's on previewsworld.com right now. And also, I think Lovecraft Unknown Kadith is actually coming in October, so it's available to pre-order right now as well. And also, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
So Stan Lee is a state or whatever, his production company, whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
is teaming up with Dynamite for a book called Alliance's Orphans. It's actually written by Luke Lieberman, who of course is related to Stan Lee. Lieberman is actually Stan's actual name, last name. And so yeah, check that out. It's a cool superhero title that's coming from Dynamite, and it's available to pre-order now as well. So yeah, all that and more at previewsworld.com. Just check it out. Just have fun and explore as well. And also, you can look at the catalog, previewsworld.com/catalog. So definitely head on over there. Ashton,
That's me.
was there anything else this week that we got to talk about?
Don't know.
I don't think
If
so.
you want to hang out on Free Comic Book Day, come do it. There's
Yeah.
a new page on Facebook and Instagram. If you're watching on Previews World and you were previously following the Free Comic Book Day page, or at one time you liked it,
Oh, look at that. That's weird.
oh man, that's Inception.
That's weird.
I don't know how I feel about that. If you were following us previously, Meta deleted our pages on Facebook and Instagram, so these are all new pages. So if you were following us in the past, make sure you come and follow us again, hang out. The Free Comic Book Day books will get announced later this year, as they usually do, all of that good stuff.
All that good stuff. And that is it for Previous World Weekly.
Yes, it is.
I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen,
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
and we will see all of you at the Spinner Rack. Catch you guys later.
Come on.
Don't forget that you can also get a sneak peek at upcoming comics by picking up a copy of this month's previews catalog. Just ask for it at your friendly local comic shop.